Okay, so our next one is going to be pie charts. So we're still looking at that qualitative data, and this time we looked at frequency distribution charts. We looked at different kinds of bar charts. Now we're just going to talk about pie charts. So pie chart is an alternative to the bar graph for displaying relative frequency information. So we don't usually use it for frequencies. We use it more for relative frequencies. A pie chart is a circle which is divided into the sectors. The relative size of the sector matches the relative frequency of the category. For example, if a category's relative frequency is 0.25 or a quarter, then it's going to take up 25% of the circle. We can kind of determine that size is going to be based on degrees. So a pie chart here displays the relative frequency of that credit card data. And it's customary to label each sector with its relative frequency expressed as a percentage. So like I said, relative frequency is usually as a decimal. This is one of the few cases where we like to write it as a percentage, is in pie charts. That MasterCard, it was 0.22, we write 22% here. That's kind of a quick visual. We quickly see that Visa almost takes up half of the credit cards being used. Looks like almost a quarter are MasterCard. But kind of quickly just sort of gather what's going on with the data. All right, so a circle is 360 degrees. So if we want to do a sector has a relative frequency of R, then the degrees of the sector are going to be written like this. So let's say MasterCard has a relative frequency of 0.22. So if I want how many degrees of a circle that's going to take, well, I take 360 and I times it to 0.22. And we get this is about almost 80. So not quite 90, just a little short. If we do the Visa, so Visa had a relative frequency of 0.46. If I take 360 and times it by 0.46, I get 165.6. So if you're good with this, you can kind of see, go, oh, okay, that's about where that is. American Express, relative frequency 0.18, multiply that by 360, we get 60.8 degrees. There's 64.8. And then Discover has a relative frequency of 0.14, so multiply that by 360, we get 50.4 degrees. So that's how we get those measurements is, like I said, we take that relative frequency and then multiply it to the 360 degrees, and that'll tell me how many degrees each one of these pie sectors is taking up. So we won't construct one, we're just going to, because they're a little bit of a pain, so especially trying to do one here. We are going to just read a pie chart. So CBS News New York and CBS News / New York Times poll asked a sample of people the following: do you think things in the United States in 5 years are going to be better or worse in 5 years than they are today? So in 5 years, are things going to be worse than they are today, better than they are today, or about the same? So what we had here is some people said better, some people said worse, some people about the same, and some people just didn't have an opinion at all. That's about where I sit. No opinion at all. So the next part is, which is the most common response? That can be a little hard to see because these look like they're about the same. But if you read the percentages, we can see, well, not a lot more, but it's almost half and half think it's worse and better. Most common response, it looks like it's better. What percentage of people say that things would be the same or worse in 50 years? All right, so the same or worse. This group match together with this group. So all we have to do is just add up those percentages. 7, 3, 4. So whereas 38% say they're worse, 19 say it's going to be about the same. About 57% are going to say that's going to be the same or worse. And then true or false. More than half the people surveyed said that things would be the same or better in 5 years. So same or better. So kind of similar to what we just did before. We just did same or worse. So we do same or better. Well, together that's going to be 39 plus 19. So this should be 58%. So more than half, yes. Because it's going to be over 50%.